Now coming to the topic time and distance. In this time and distance, the basic terminology is speed, time, distance, average speed, and relative speed. We'll see what is the relation among distance, speed, and time. Distance is equivalent to, what is distance is equivalent to? Speed into time, and speed equivalent to distance by time. Time equivalent to distance by speed. So listen carefully. If you want to find the speed, just close S. Okay, so you'll get distance by time. If you want to get time, just close T, you'll get distance by speed. If you want to find the distance, close D, you'll get speed into time. That's what we're getting here. Okay, distance is equivalent to speed into time. Here speed equivalent to distance by time, and time equivalent to distance by speed. Now when distance is constant, means the product of speed and time is constant. For example, if you're traveling 100 kilometers, if you're traveling at 10 kilometer per hour, this is speed. What's the time taken? 100 kilometers. If you're traveling at 10 kilometer per hour, 10 kilometer per hour, the time taken is 10 hours. Suppose if you are traveling at 20 kilometer per hour, the time taken will be 5 hours. If you are traveling at 25 kilometer per hour, the time taken will be 4 hours. In all the cases, the product is constant. Is it clear? When distance is constant, the product of speed and time is constant. It means when speed increases, implies the time taken is also, the time taken will decrease. Okay, let us see a few examples here. When two men start together to walk a certain distance, one at 4 km per hour and another at 3 km per hour, the former arrives half an hour before the latter. Find the distance. What he said, the one who is traveling at 4 km per hour reached 30 minutes before the one who is traveling at 3 km per hour. So assume that the person who is traveling at 4 km per hour took T hours. Then the person who traveling at 3 km per hour will take T plus half, is taking half an hour extra. Okay, now on simplification, what's the value you'll get? 4t minus 3t. Bring this 3t to the left hand side. 4t minus 3t, which is equals to t, which is equals to 3 by 2. Now he is asking us to find the, what is asking us to find? He is asking us to find the value of distance. Distance is nothing but speed into time. What is the speed when you traveling? If you take the t hours, the speed is 4. So 4 into 3 by 2. 2 ones, 2 twos, which is equals to 6. So the answer is option 3. A train starts from a place A at 6 am and arrives another place B at 4:30 pm on the same day. If the speed of the train is 40 km per hour, the distance traveled by the train you have to find. What is given? A train starts from a place at 6 am and arrives at place B at 4:30 pm on the same day. If the speed of the train is 40 km per hour, find the distance traveled by the train. Distance is nothing but speed into time. At what speed it is traveling? 40 km per hour into how many hours it traveled? See, from 6 am to 4:30 pm. Simple. 6 am to 6 pm. How many hours will be there? 12 hours. If it is 5 pm, go 1 hour back. It means 11 hours. Deduct half an hour because it's saying the 4:30 pm. It means 10 and a half. So which is nothing but 10 and a half hours. We can write as 10.5. On simplification, we will get 420 kilometers. So the answer is option 1. Next, walking at the rate of 4 km per hour, A man covers a certain distance in 3 hours 45 minutes. If he covers the same distance on cycling at the rate of 16.5 km per hour, the time taken by him is, so same, speed into time, 3 hours 45 minutes can be written as 3 by 4. 3 by 4 is equivalent to, if he is traveling at 16.5 km per hour, what is the time taken? This is what he is asking us to find. Now this is 4 into, this mixed fraction can be written as 4 3s are 12, 12 plus 3 15. So 15 by 4 into 16.5 into t is equals to, this is equals to, okay. Now I have to find the value of t. 4 and 4 will get cancels, implies t equivalent to 15 by 16.5 hours. So convert it into minutes because it is given in minutes by 60. Now 15 ones, 15 1.1s. Okay. Now 60 by 1.1, we simply can write it as this is equals to 600 by 11. 600 by 11. On simplification, what will you get? Because the options are very nearer, right? 55.45, 54.55, like that, and 55.44. Now simple, divide with 11. 11 600. 11 5s are 55, and still remainder is 550. 11 4s are 44. It means I'm getting 54 point something. So I can rule out option 1, option 2, option 4. Simply the answer is option 2. See, I'm not doing complete calculation. The moment I'm sure that it is 54 point something, there is only one option with 54. If it is more than one option, if there are options we are having 54, okay, more than one case, then what I have to do? I have to continue this further. 50 minus 44, what's the remainder? 6. If you put point here, 0, so 54.5, so 55, again 5. If you keep on that, you can do like this. Okay. Next, average speed. What is meant by an average speed? Average speed is nothing but ratio of total distance traveled by total time taken. What is the total distance traveled here? d1 plus d2 plus d3 plus d4. This is the total distance traveled. But total time taken, what is the time? Speed, distance. When distance and speed is given, the time is nothing but distance by speed. So d1 by s1 plus d2 by s2 plus d3 by s3 plus d4 by s4. What is this? This is the time taken to cover distance d1. This is the time taken to cover distance d2 with at speed for s2. Okay. Similarly, this is the time taken to cover distance d3 at a speed s3. So likewise, similar the case d4 by s4. Okay. Because the average speed is nothing but total distance traveled by total time taken. If distance and speeds are given, this is the formula we have to use. Next one, if distance and time are given, then what you will do? Simple, total distance traveled is nothing but d1 plus d2 plus d3 plus d4, and total time taken is nothing but t1 plus t2 plus t3 plus t4. That's all. This is the average speed. If distance and time is given, you have to go with this method. Next, if speed and time are given, how will you find? Simple, distance is nothing but speed into time. So s1 t1 plus, to cover this distance, so s2 t2 and plus s3 t3 plus s4 t4. This is the total distance traveled divided by total time taken. What is the total time taken? t1 plus t2 plus t3 plus t4. See here, we'll see the example. A man completes 30 km of journey at a speed of 6 km per hour and the remaining 40 km in 5 hours. His average speed of the whole journey is. Now, what he did? He is given 30 km and the another is 40 km. Here he covered its speed s1 is given, which is equal to how much? 6 km per hour. The other one time is given here t2, which is equals to 5 hours. Simple. We know that average speed is nothing but average speed equals to total distance traveled by total time taken. What is the total distance traveled? 30 plus 40, which is equals to 70. This is the total distance traveled by total time taken. So total time is nothing but 30 by 6 plus 5, because here I know the time. Here how I will find distance by speed? So 30 by 6, I will get this. So simply you will get 70 by 30 by 6 is how much? 5 plus 5 10. 70 by 10, which is equals to 7 km per hour. Is it clear? Because average speed is nothing but total distance traveled by total time taken. What is the time here? Distance by speed. Distance is 30, speed is 6. 30 by 6 is the time. Here another time, 40 km take how much time? 5 hours. He clearly gave that. Okay. Next. So the answer is option 1. See next question. Second one. Okay. Now a man covers the journey from a station A to station B at a uniform speed 36 km per hour and returns to A at a speed of 45 km per hour. His average speed of the journey is. Now what is given here? A person traveled from A to B at a speed of how much? 36 km per hour, 36 kmph. While returning, what is his speed? 45 kmph. We don't know the distance between A and B. Assume the total distance between A and B be d. Okay. Now what is an average speed formula? Average speed equivalents to total distance traveled by total time taken. Now what is the total distance traveled here? From A to B it is d, again returning to A. It means total distance traveled is 2d. But entire journey is not maintaining the same speed. So while traveling from A to B, what is the speed? 36 km per hour. It means the time taken while traveling from A to B is nothing but distance by speed. So d by its speed is 36. Similarly, while returning to A, the speed is 45. Simply distance by speed. Now this is very important model question. What most of the students are doing in the exam is simply they are cancelling d. So here instead of cancelling d, see what happens here, d and 2, if I take denominator d common, so you will get 1 by 36 plus 1 by 45. See here, anyhow d and d will get cancels, you will get this value. You have to do this calculation. We know that here anyhow d is getting cancelled. Instead of getting cancelled, instead of cancelling d, make use of d by taking convenient value. How to choose that convenient value? Simple. What is the number in the denominators? 36 and 45. Select a value which is exactly divisible by 36 and 45. So nothing but 180. Assume d equals to 180. How you are getting this? Simply LCM of 36 and 45. Then what happens? 2d, 2 into 180. 180 by 36, which is equals to 5, plus 180 by 45, which is nothing but 4. 5 plus 4 is how much? 9. 9 ones, 9 twos. 9 20s, sorry. 9 ones, 9 20s. 2 into 20, which is equals to 40. The average speed is nothing but 40 km per hour. So the answer is option 1. But what most of the students do in the exam is simply they will add 36 plus 45 by 2, which is equals to 81 by 2, that equals to 40.5. Most of the people fall in this trap, which is wrong. The average speed definition is nothing but total distance traveled by total time taken. We have to follow only this formula. That's concept. Average speed, whatever information you may give, look at the basic definition of average speed: total distance traveled by total time taken. Okay. Now third one in this model, third question. The speed of a train going from Nagpur to Allahabad is 100 km per hour, while its speed is 150 km while coming from Allahabad to Nagpur. Then the average speed of the journey is. What is the simple method I said? This is d. Okay. The total distance traveled will be 2d. Time taken is how much? While going, his speed is 100 km per hour. Time is nothing but distance by speed. While coming speed is 150. Simple. This is the logic. Okay, he's giving that going while going this is 100 km, while coming it is 150. Total distance traveled is nothing d plus d, 2d. That is what we're writing here. So simply choose a current value for d. Okay, what is the current value for d? LCM of 100 and 150, which is nothing but 300. Simply assume d equal to 300. What happens? So 2 into 300 plus 300 by 100, how much? 3 plus 300 by 150, which is 2. 3 plus 2 is equal to 5. 5 ones, 5 60s. 2 into 60 is equal to 120. Simply the average speed is 120 km per hour. See one more concept. One more question on this. P travels for 6 hours at a rate of 5 km per hour and for 3 hours at a rate of 6 km per hour. The average speed. What is the definition of an average speed? Average speed is nothing but total distance traveled by total time taken. Now, how will you find the total distance traveled? 6 hours. What is given? S1, T1 and S2, T2 is given. Then what is the average speed? S1 into T1 plus S2 into T2 divided by T1 plus T2. Simple. Now what is S1 is given? 6. What is T1? Sorry, S1 is 5, T1 is 6. So 5 into 6 plus what is S2? S2 is 6 and what is T2? 3 divided by what is the total time taken? Total time taken is nothing but T1 plus T2, which is equal to 9 hours. 5 into 6, 30 plus 6 into 3, 18. 30 plus 18, which is 48 by 9. That equal to 16 by 3. That equals to 5 1 by 3 kmph. So simply answer is option 2. With an average speed of 40 km per hour, a train reaches a destination in time. If it goes at an average speed of 35 km per hour, it is late by 15 minutes. The total journey is simple. While traveling this distance by speed will give you the time. So d by 35, this is time 1. Okay, and time 2, d by 40, because same distance, which is greater. See, if you're traveling at lower speed, it will take more time. So you can say that simply T1 is greater than T2, because while traveling with a low speed, you will take more time to cover a certain distance. Okay, so T1 must be greater than T2. What is given here? The difference. It means this time d by 35 minus d by 40 is given how much? 15 minutes. 15 minutes can be written as 15 by 60 hours. Now we have to find the total journey. I have to find the value of d. How will you do this? Simple. Take the LCM of 35, 40 and 60. 35, 40 and 60, or else you can write it as 15 ones and 15 fours. Now take the LCM of 35, 40 and 4. What is LCM of 35, 40 and 4? Which is nothing but 3. How much? 70, 280. Okay, 280. LCM of 35, 40 and 4 is 280. Now simplify this. 35 ones, 35 how many times you will get? 35 8s. So 8d minus 40 ones, 47s. So 7d equivalents to 1 by 4 into 280, which is equals to 70. So d equal to 70. The distance is 70 kilometers. See logic here. Instead of doing all the kind of stuff, I'm taking a convenient value and multiplying. How to do this? Simply to avoid these kind of fractions, simply concentrate the numbers in the denominator and take the LCM of those numbers and multiply with that number throughout the equation, so that your calculation become very simple. Okay. Now coming to the relative speed. What is meant by relative speed? Relative speed is nothing but the speed of one object with respect to other object. The speed of one object with respect to other object. If two objects are traveling in the opposite direction, the relative speed is given as SA plus SB. It means sum of the individual speeds. If two objects are traveling in the opposite direction, the relative speed is sum of the individual speeds. Now, if they are moving in opposite direction, when they will meet? This is another important question they may ask. Simple. The time taken to meet each other is nothing but total distance divided by relative speed. What is total distance here? D. Relative speed, as they are traveling in the opposite direction, relative speed is sum of their individual speeds, simply SA plus SB. Now, if they ask distance covered by the object, simple. The distance covered by A here is nothing but, you will find, we know the distance is nothing but speed into time. Now by the time they meet, what is the distance covered by A? This is how they ask. Simple. Speed of A into time taken. So speed of A, SA into, this is how you will find the time, distance by relative speed, simply SA into T. Similar, distance covered by B is nothing but SB into T. What is T here? Distance by relative speed. Okay. Similarly, distance when traveled in, relative speed when they are traveling in the same direction. When two objects are traveling in the same direction, the relative speed is nothing but difference of their individual speeds. And here, time taken to overtake the other is nothing but distance by relative speed. This is how you will find the time. Okay. See here. Example. Two men are standing on opposite ends of a bridge of 1200 meters long. This is the bridge of 1200 meters long. If they walk towards each other at the rate of 5 meter per minute and 10 meters per minute, in how much time they will meet each other? Simple. The speed is given 5 meter per minute and 10 meter per minute. He is asking time. Time is nothing but total distance 200, as they are traveling in the opposite direction. What is the relative speed? Sum of their individual speed, simply by 15. On simplification you will get 80, simply 80 minutes. Simple. Distance by relative speed. What is the relative speed? 5 plus 10, 5 plus 10, which is 15. Okay. Next, two trains 160 meter and 140 meter long running in opposite direction. Two trains, one is 160, the other is 140, running in opposite direction on parallel rails. The first at 77 km an hour and the second at 67 km an hour. How long will they take to cross each other? Simple. Here, time is nothing but distance traveled by speed. Okay. Now, what is the distance when two trains are moving in the opposite direction? Simple. The distance covered by them is nothing but the length of the trains. Okay. What is the length of the trains? 160 plus 140. What is the speed? Speed is 77 plus 67. Look at this. These are given in kilometer per hour. To convert it into meter per second, you have to multiply it with 5 by 18. This equals to 300 into 18 divided by 77 plus 67. How much you will get? 144 into 5. 18 ones, 18 eights. 5 ones, 5 60s. 60 by 8 is nothing but 7.5 seconds. Simply the answer is option 2. Two trains are running in opposite direction with the same speed. He is saying the same speed. If the length of the each train is 120 meters and they cross each other in 12 seconds, the speed of the each train is, let the speed of the trains be S, both the trains. The relative speed will become how much? Relative speed. What is relative speed will become? 2S, because they are traveling in opposite direction. Now what is that the distance covered by the two trains? Nothing but the length of the two trains, and is given that length of each train is 120. It means total distance covered by the trains is 240. How much time they took? 12 seconds is equivalent to 2s, because relative speed is nothing but or otherwise time taken is nothing but distance by relative speed. Relative speed is 2s, which is equal to 12 seconds. Or I'll write one more step. 240 by relative speed 2s is equal to 12 seconds. This is the next step. Okay, and bringing 12 to the left hand side and 2s to the right hand side. 12 ones, 12 20s implies s is equal to 10. Now look at the question carefully. He's asking speed in kilometer per hour. Okay, this is what is the units? 240 meters, and this is seconds. You're getting meter per second. To convert a meter per second, into kilometer per hour, simply multiply it with 18 by 5. Okay, simple. 18 by 5, that equals to 36. The answer is option 3. See here one important point. 1 kilometer per hour. 1 kilometer per hour is equivalent to 1 kilometer. Kilo means 1000. 1000 meters per hour. Hour means how many seconds? 60 minutes, and 60 minutes can be written as 3600 seconds. 0 will get cancelled. That equal to 5 by 18 meter per second. It means 1 kilometer per hour equal to 5 by meter per second, and 1 meter per second equivalent to 18 by 5 kilometer per hour. That is what we are doing here. Okay. Next. Two trains 140 meter and 160 meter long run at a speed of 60 and 40 kilometer per hour respectively in opposite directions on parallel tracks. The time in seconds which they take to cross each other is. Now what is the distance covered by both the trains? 140 plus 160, because this is the total distance. They are traveling in which direction? Opposite direction. What is the relative speed? Sum of their individual speeds. What is the individual speed? 60 and 40. Then the total relative speed is 100. Now listen carefully here. This is given in kilometer per hour. This is in meters. So I have to convert it into meter per second. To convert meter per second, I have to multiply it with 5 by 18. So this is equivalent to 300 into 18. What is this 300? 140 plus 160. 300. I take this 18 to the numerator. Is equal, divided by 100 into 5. On simplification, 0 and 0 will get cancels. 54 by 5. 54 by 5, which is equal to 10.8 seconds. The answer is option 2. Again, two trains start from stations A and B and travel towards each other at a speed of 50 and 60 km per hour respectively. At the time of their meeting, the second train has traveled 120 km more than the first one. The distance between A and B is simple. Logically, what is given here? The distance, let us assume that after t hours A and meet. Okay, this is A. Let us say first train is traveling at 50 kmph. The second one is traveling at 60 kmph. Assume that they meet after t hours. Now the distance covered by the faster train is nothing but 60 t, because distance is nothing but speed into t, and the distance covered by the second train is nothing but 50 t. Okay, what is given here? This train covered how much distance more than the first? So 120. This is what given here. Traveled 120 km more than the first. Implies 10t equal to 120. T equivalents to how much you will get? 12. Now the total distance is nothing but distance covered by the first train, and also total distance is nothing but distance covered by the first train plus distance covered by the second train. That is nothing but 110 t. What is t here? We got t equivalents to 12. We got. On simplification, you will get 1320 kilometers. Simply the answer is option 3.